Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Barely Bookish podcast. And I'm once again joined by Alex, and we are once again doing Jane Eyre.
It's like a really cool Groundhog's Day.
I know, we never leave, we
We don't
just
leave.
get more of the mores.
More. Yes. Are things sad? Are things weird? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did big juicy changes happen to our protagonist in this chat in these chapters? Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm like really sad this is ending soon.
I know. Depending on how much we get through, we've got like 4 chapters left.
I know. Sad.
But then we have another book and maybe some movies, so it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Don't
thinking
worry.
we'll probably do like the movies next, and then discuss that next book after the movies, so the movies give us enough time to read the book.
I think that's a very good plan. I don't think I can jump right into Wide Sargasso Sea right now, but I can jump
Yeah.
into some pretty movies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. With some pretty actors and
Mm-hmm.
actresses.
Yep.
So let's talk about chapter 33.
Whew.
Yeah, that's the proper reaction.
Mm-hmm. This one and the next one are some thunderbolts. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So a really bad snowstorm rolls through. Um, and St. John rolls up in the middle of the storm.
It's just like I was out for a walk. It's like my guy.
I'm imagining it like Hagrid rolling up on the Dursleys when it's raining.
Just like smash open the door.
Mm-hmm.
You're
He
an
gives me
heiress,
that vibe.
Jane. I get it.
I'm a what?
What? Uh, no, it's not that he's ominous, but like every time he shows up, Jane's just like, "Oh, Sinjin's here again," and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to read her reaction. I mean, I do, but it's also like she seems so interestedly ambivalent. It's very odd.
I feel like it's when like your annoying cousin shows up.
Hmm. Indeed,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how very apt.
Yeah, maybe right on the nose. But like, have you ever been to like family dinners where you're just chilling and then like that one cousin shows up and you're like, no, now we're gonna get in a political debate. That's how he is with God.
Oh my god, yeah. And yes, I do have that cousin, so I'm absolutely
Mm-hmm.
with you.
Mm-hmm.
He he's got a lot to say, so we should talk about what he says. But
Mm-hmm.
the man is obnoxious. We'll say that much.
So uh he's just being super weird. Jane is sitting in a chair waiting for him to say whatever's going on. Like basically, she's got her like knitting needles out, and like every so often she looks up and he's still just like point blank staring at her.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want to talk about it?" He's like, and then just proceeds to sit in
Mm-hmm.
silence. It's like
Mm-hmm. It's like,
Jane's
okay,
like, "Did you
buddy.
have a reason for coming?" And he's like, Probably, yeah."
Mm-hmm.
You gonna talk about it? Nah.
No.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, thanks for that.
But also, you're in my home.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird.
Yep. So he's like, so Jane Eyre, and she's like, what?
Yes.
And then he knows Rochester tried to marry her, and but he has a wife. And Jane's like, literally, how?
I also love that as Sinjin's like, "I'm gonna tell you a story," and as soon as he gets to Rochester, Jen's like, "And how is Mr. Rochester? Did you ask how Mr. Rochester was? Is he doing okay? Like, is Mr. Rochester okay? Did you talk to Mr. Rochester, or like did he ask about me? Is he okay?" Like, she will
Mm-hmm.
not shut up about it. It's so cute in a way.
I love how she's like, how's the hottest guy I've ever met, but only to me personally, and he's ugly to everyone else doing?
Yes.
How is my personal Channing Tatum doing?
uh, I'm sorry.
What's that movie?
I'm having a hard time with my own personal Channing Tatum.
What's that movie with Jack Black where he gets like, is it Jack Black? I think Jack Black is the side character, but like someone gets cursed to see like people for their personality, but he was like a really terrible human being who like called like was just very biased to people on their looks.
Hmm.
And then like he would only date like supermodels, but he was like a four.
Okay. Um, I don't know why I'm thinking that's a Ryan Reynolds movie. Maybe I'm wrong.
Shallow Hal. I was right. It was
Shallow Hal.
with Jack Black.
I never watched Shallow Hal.
Okay. Here's the description for you.
Hmm.
Shallow Hal is a 2001 American romantic film starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Jack Black about a man who falls in love with a 300-pound woman after being hypnotized into only seeing a person's inner beauty.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't remember anything about this movie, to be honest.
I mean, I don't. My favorite part is that I don't see Channing Tatum in this cast list.
Oh no, he's not in the cast list. This is my thing is that she thinks she's dating Channing Tatum, and everyone else is like,
Ah,
"Ooh,
I understand now.
yeah, that's where that connection came from."
Got it.
Yeah, you were looking for a movie
I
with
was like,
Channing Tatum.
why is Channing Tatum not in this movie? You know
Yeah, I was
what?
thinking about Magic Mike. You know.
Mm, well, that's fair. Okay, I'm centering myself on the fact of casting Jack Black as Mr. Rochester now, and it's driving me
Oh,
wild.
oh my gosh! So people are talking about like the live action Link movie, and they're
Hmm.
like, Jack Black cannot be anywhere near that movie because
Why?
they're saying like because of the fact that every funny movie they always cast Jack Black and they want a movie without him in it. But I'm like controversial. I like Jack like controversial opinion of that person who said Jack Black should not be in it. However, I think Jack Black can be in any movie and I will watch it because I love him.
I agree. Same boat. I think that man is a delight.
If you cast Jack Black as Ganondorf, I will watch it.
Hmm. In fact, I'm more inclined to watch it because I don't really
Mm-hmm.
like live action remakes of things,
Mm-hmm.
or
That's
not
fair.
remake, but like,
I would prefer a Mario movie version, to be honest. Like I
mm,
like that style of animation.
yeah, right. And Jack Black was in that. Don't mind me.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. My brain is mashed potatoes.
It's fine. This is what
But
happens
like,
when you don't get a sneaky snack.
oh my god. And you don't sleep because you stayed up late playing video games because you're dumb.
Me, mood.
All right, so Mr. Rochester is now canonically Jack Black, and that's fine.
Hmm. Hmm. Man, I would love that actually.
I would watch the shit out of that movie.
Yeah, can we get a modern day Jane Eyre Jack Black as uh Rochester, please and thank you.
Yep, make it happen. Casting
Make it
directors,
happen.
get on it.
I think he could play a grumpy character.
Oh, absolutely.
I
He
could
could
see it.
brood.
I think so.
He's got a charisma and a magnetism that Rochester has. Let's be real.
I would just fully. I just want to see him in very period drama clothing. That's all I really
Yes.
am wanting here.
No, there's something very satisfying about seeing actors who do not normally do that sort of thing, like dressed up
Hmm.
to the period. And you know what? I think Jack Black is an attractive man. I mean,
Hmm.
he's not a Channing Tatum, but that's fine. You know,
Hmm.
personality wise, he's lovely. I think a good Regency slash early Victorian period costume will
Hmm.
make any human being look good. I don't care. It's just the
Yeah,
way it is.
I still want what's that actor's name that was just in The Last of Us? What's their name? Was it The Last of Us? We were just
We
talking
were
about
just
this.
talking about this. Yes,
Hmm.
Bella Ramsey.
Yes, still want them as Jane Eyre if they're comfortable with it because they just have that perfect orphan face.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Bella Ramsey, Jack Black, Jane Eyre?
I would pay good money.
Right?
Good money.
Like, I feel like choices could be made that could make that movie truly spectacular.
Yeah. Even if they modernize it, I would still watch it. Like if they
Absolutely.
want to do like a nice modern retelling of this, but keep both of those characters,
Here for
ideal.
it.
Like if they want to go like Bridgerton esque, where it's like modern but also
Hmm.
not, cool with it.
Absolutely. Give me a little anachronism. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, getting back after our fan casting moment,
It's not our first, and it probably won't be our last.
it's fine. It's fine. We have to enjoy these chapters while we can, people.
That's right. So we're savoring at this point.
Mm-hmm. It's like the last juicy bit of steak. You just gotta gnaw on it for a bit.
100%.
So, um, Jane finds out that she's like loaded because her uncle died. Jane finds out she's worth £20,000, and she's like, "What could I possibly do with all that money?"
My favorite bit about this is she's like, "Are you sure you didn't read it wrong? Are you sure it wasn't 2,000?"
Literally,
She's like, "Are you sure it's not 2,000?" He's like, "Jane, it was literally written out to 20,000, not two."
I like was dying with
Yes,
that.
this whole conversation is so awkward because
Mm-hmm.
obviously he knows, and he's just
Mm-hmm.
like trying to get her to talk about it, and she's
Mm-hmm.
just like, "I will not say words." Just
It's like me winning the lottery, you know? Like I could not imagine that amount of money
mhm.
coming into my pocket.
No, and Jane, who's been just a little vampire orphan her entire life,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, haha, I don't know what to do with it. She's
Yeah,
like,
she's like, I've
she's
literally never owned more than 4 dresses before.
right. Like, she's spent a good amount of time in and around wealth, but is not
Mm-hmm.
generally impressed by it, which is
Yeah.
like, this is part of that Victorian moralizing that's going on here. But like, she's only seen the negatives of having
Mm-hmm.
wealth. Like,
Mm-hmm.
her aunt is shitty, all her cousins are shitty, they're like corrupted by the fact that they have money. Rochester is
Mm-hmm.
corrupted by the fact that he has money. It does not make him happy, it in fact makes him more miserable. And Jane's just
Yeah.
like, why do I want any of that? And St. John's like, because you can do shit with it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to have like a priest be the one being like, yo, you're loaded and it's good. And Jane's like,
Mm-hmm.
no. And he's like, woman, what are you doing? Use your
Listen,
noggin. And it's like, sir. She's a little
if someone was
overwhelmed.
like, you won the lottery, I feel like I'd also have the same reaction where I'd be like, what?
Huh?
Huh? What do I do with that kind of money? Like, do I have to hire a lawyer now?
Right. Do I need an accountant? What is
Yeah.
this?
I feel like the second you get money, suddenly everyone wants to sue you. So I feel like I need a lawyer on standby.
I would need a bodyguard. But not to
Yeah.
protect my body, but to protect me from having to talk to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be like, you're just going to answer all of my Discord messages and my text messages and answer my phones now because I don't want to do that.
So you want a personal assistant?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say I said bodyguard because my first thought was brain guard. Someone to
Mm.
protect my brain from the social interactions that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I landed, but personal assistant is far more normal of a thing to call that.
You're like ideally very buff personal assistant.
Right. Like, if I need to be picked up and removed from a situation, they
Mm-hmm.
could do that. Um,
You're like, if I could get someone that actually competes in powerlifting as my personal assistant, that's the most ideal.
right. This is the dream, and since I apparently have won the lottery, I can manifest that dream to
Mm-hmm.
reality. So here we
Mm-hmm.
go.
You're like, your only job is to answer all my messages and then like work out all day. You have to do nothing else.
Nothing else. There will be benefits, health and dental.
Hmm. If I won the lottery, my main goal in life would just be buying those bookshelves that I want so that I can have like a dungeon tower.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, creating my own personal library, I mean home, would be
Hmm.
where I'm at.
Yeah, I've already told my boyfriend that. So we have like a loft area, and we don't like to watch TV. So like when they demonstrated the loft, they put like another TV room up there, and he's like, "I just kind of want a chill hangout space." I'm like, "Where my bookshelves go?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." And I'm like, "Excellent, excellent."
We have a verbal contract. It is
Hmm.
agreed. Wonderful.
Yeah, because he's like, "Oh yeah, I just don't want it to be like empty, wasted space, but I just want comfy chairs for us to watch memes in." And I was like, "Slay."
Yes. We have one spare room that adjoins my office that at the moment is a storage space for all of the comic book boxes and general stuff that I don't know what to do with yet. And
Hmm.
my winter goal is to clean that out and buy like 5 more bookshelves because at the moment I'm doing rock cairns but with books. Like
Yep.
there are books being balanced purely because of gravity and physics, and I just keep
Yep.
stacking them, and it's beautiful, but I'm also like, these these books also deserve shelves like their shelved brethren. So
Have you seen those bookshelves that look like just stacks of books?
no.
Yeah, so it's like a small little tiny shelf that comes and it's stacked straight up so that every so often you don't have the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Plus then it takes up less floor space.
Indeed, that's also ideal because the room is big enough. But
Hmm.
okay, well, thank you for that tip. I'm going to be googling things later.
You shall enjoy. Turns out her and the Rivers are cousins, and that's what she actually cares the most about. She's like, "Oh, so I have family now?"
I have
And he's
family
like,
which I've never had.
he's like, "You also have a lot of money." And she's
he
like,
does not
"Don't
give a
care."
he does not give a shit about the familial connection. He's
Yeah.
just like, your focus should be on the money. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I also appreciate, she's like, oh, I had an uncle that I never met, and that makes me sad. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I feel that. But I also really appreciate how enthusiastic she is about actually having human connection in the world because she has never had it, or the human
Mm-hmm.
connection she does have is really shitty. Like
Yeah.
her aunt, terrible. Her cousins, terrible. And it's I mean, it's just a fine piece of writing to have like,
Mm-hmm.
here are these two windfalls. You have a lot of money and you have connection, which is the thing you've wanted. And
Mm-hmm.
is just like a character thing. Like, this is what Jane cares about. The money is superfluous. She has actual relationship potential now.
I know.
Which is
It's
lovely.
cute. So Jane's like, "How about we just all split it 4 ways?" And he's like, "What?"
It's like, Jane, don't be dumb.
Like, he's like, "Don't you want to think about it?" She goes, "What am I going to do with money?"
Right. She's got her little cottage. She's got
Mm-hmm.
her little school job, which she's not going to have because now she's rich. But,
Yeah.
like, I like that charitable instinct. It's just like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
I got family. And those family members were not in the will. They were
Yeah.
like specifically written out because Jane, their uncle, everyone's uncle, had a problem with the Rivers parents. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, nah, fuck them. Just Jane. And it's like,
Who
so
he's
yeah,
never
she's just
met.
right. It's like, I don't know who this woman is, but I guess I don't hate her parents, so she can have
Gotta
money.
be better than the Rivers.
Right. It's just like, it's a weird thing. It's an injustice. And
Mm-hmm.
again, Jane is like, let's fix it. I'm like, you go, Jane.
Love it. And then Jane's like, "I'll just keep teaching at the school until you can find a substitute, and then I'll move back to your guys' house.
And we'll,
Tell the girls."
yeah, We're just gonna have fun now. It's like, oh,
I love it.
everything's coming up Jane Eyre. I bet nothing
Yeah.
will go wrong.
No, of course not.
Absolutely not.
Nothing. So then we are on to chapter 34. So it's Christmas time, which we love a Christmas special.
Absolutely.
And she's leaving the school. Christmas time always makes me want to watch Hallmark movies.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
people are
tradition.
like, they're terrible. And I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah, there's no other reason that you watch them apart from to bask in how awful they are.
Yeah, no, I like a Hallmark movie. I like the vibe. I like the energy. I like that my grandmother watches them.
The only one I won't watch, and I say this because I hate everything about this, is the Christmas Shoes movie.
Don't think I know what that one is.
Oh, oh. Are you familiar with
No.
the Christmas Shoes song?
No?
Okay, so at some point you will have to listen. I may send this to you, but
Okay.
the Christmas Shoes song is the most maudlin piece of engineered feel badness that you
Oh.
can. Oh, okay. I'm not. This is a spoiler if for those
Okay.
who want to listen to the Christmas Shoes song and or watch the Christmas Shoes movie starring Rob Lowe. Christmas Shoes is about a man who is shopping at the end of the
Hmm.
Christmas season, and he's in line and he's like not feeling Christmas and he's bummed out, and there's a kid in line in front of him who wants to buy some shoes for his mom because his mom is dying, and he wants to buy his mom some Christmas shoes so that she will look beautiful when she meets Jesus tonight.
Stop.
Yeah. So the whole song is like this guy feeling bad because he's like, oh, this kid's mom, this is the real spirit of Christmas, is making sure that people see Jesus. And
Mm,
mom is dying. And it's like, hey, man, okay.
what?
So this is the song. And the core, like I literally quoted you the chorus. It's, Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama,
Hmm.
please. It's Christmas Eve, and these shoes are just her style. Can you help me, please? Daddy says there's not much time, but I want to buy these shoes so Mama can look beautiful when she meets Jesus tonight. That's the chorus of this
Stop.
song. It's awful. And they made a movie about it. And,
No.
and the movie stars Rob Lowe as the guy who is having problems with Christmas and needs to like meet this child whose mother is dying so that he can understand the real spirit of Christmas. It's absolutely emotionally manipulative garbage. I hate it. I hate it
Hmm.
so much because it's so transparently manipulative and trying to
Yeah.
like make you feel sad.
Hmm.
And like the best stuff that makes you feel sad doesn't try, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Like this is so blatant that it offends and infuriates me. Um, but the
I hate that.
Hallmark did make a Christmas Shoes movie. It was a thing because Christmas Shoes was a phenom in like the
Hmm.
late aughts. This is like my grandma's favorite Christmas song. I'm like, Grandma, there are so many like I love Christmas songs. I will listen to
Hmm.
Christmas songs whenever. Like if the mood strikes, I will listen to a Christmas song. But like
Hmm.
garbage. So many better options and you pick Christmas Shoes.
I was an active hater of Christmas until like a year ago, so I avoided studiously all things Christmas.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But if you want some good Christmas
Hmm.
songs that will maybe make you feel things, but not in a bad way,
Okay.
I can send you some options. To start, listeners, if you want a good, and this is more of a winter song, it's just a sort
Hmm.
of like happy winter song. Marshmallow World, Dean Martin. It's all about just like vibing in the
Hmm.
winter, and like shit is fun. Snow, there's snow. If you're into snow, it's very good. It's very light. There are no dying mothers and poor children, and I
Okay.
hate that that's a bar that I have to like set
Literally.
to be like, okay, how emotionally manipulative is this fucking song? Anyway,
At
You
least no
can
dead moms.
no dead moms in Marshmallow World.
So funny. So, moving on from dead moms, I
I'm
guess.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Listen, there Christmas shoes is like a thing that has been stuck in my craw for 15 years. Anyway,
That's fair. It's fair. Sometimes you just have to let it out into the podcast ether.
yeah. And if you disagree with me, don't at me. It's a bad
Whatever.
song, and if you like it, you're a bad person. There, I said it.
All right, our favorite character with a dead mom, Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre. There we go. I'm shutting up.
It's fine. I can't think of a good
Nope.
segue.
That's the
So
best segue we can get, so I'm fine
yeah,
with it.
it's fine. It's fine. Um, wow, this next note is really ironic. In the you know, my next note says the entire time she's talking about how happy she is that her students liked her, while she continues to roast them the entire time for being uneducated and poor.
Yes. Yes. I love that even and it's I don't know what it is, but I think she just doesn't like teaching. Like at the
No,
end of the day, it's just like she's like, yeah, they're really, they like me, and I'm feeling good about that. But God, they're dumb. It's like
like,
Jane.
have you ever had a teacher that didn't like teaching, and you're like, how did you do this?
I don't think I did. I think
Must be nice.
all of the teachers I had were very like at the very least neutral about teaching. Like I never saw someone who actively had gone into the I despise teaching uh
Yeah,
category.
I had a couple teachers that both despised teaching and children. I'm like,
Oh,
how?
why?
I don't like. I was like, how did we get here?
That's a fine question because you
Yeah,
you have to assume that they didn't start there.
yeah.
That
Like
it's
to the
just
point where
sorry, go
like
ahead.
I was generally a good student and a good kid, and like one of those teachers like despised me. Like I have to wear sunglasses when I go outside because I have like my eyes are very sensitive to light. And so like how in middle school everyone tries on each other's glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like when people found out they wanted to like try on my sunglasses, they were just like Walmart sunglasses. And like we're trying on each other's glasses and be like, wow, you're really blind, blah 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 blah. Doing that whole thing. And so he decides to commandeer my sunglasses. And I was like, I cannot leave the building without those on. And he was like, well, when's the next time you have to go outside? And I was like, seeing as there's not bathrooms in this building, I'm not leaving your like room without them.
Right.
And he was like, no, you can come get them for me whatever period you're not like in whatever period you have to leave the building because like we're in Florida, so like all of the
Right.
buildings are like 5 classrooms.
Yeah.
um and I was like, yeah, I have to go outside at the end of this period. Full lie, full
Mm.
lie. But also I'm not gonna just leave them with you, you know what I mean? So I just
I
like when I walked out the door I grabbed him off his desk and he forgot.
Wow. Why? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. He was
Okay.
just at that point in teaching where he like gave up and like hated
Mm-hmm.
students. And he like was like a history teacher, so he would just like lecture forever. And then like when everyone was falling asleep because he had like the most monotone voice I've ever experienced, he would put on this um like video of like history, like from the I think like the History Channel, but it was like the videos he chose were a guy with an even more monotone voice than his. And so I'd just be like slamming my head into my desk all the time.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Especially like seventh graders with like pent up energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yup.
like not a good
Like,
moment.
listen, I appreciate trying to teach seventh graders history is hard, but like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well, like the thing is too is like we were in advanced classes. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you already have like the super nerdy kids that aren't like as rambunctious as, general education.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we weren't even like a rowdy class in the scheme of things. We were all just kind of like chilling. And he was just like, I don't know what his period before us was like,
Uh,
but yeah, no. He just was like so tired of educating. And I was like, okay. He's like an old man too. So that was
so I will. So the only thing I'll say is I had a push teacher who looked exactly like Ed Norton. It was wild,
wild.
and like
That's insane.
that's it. That's my story. My A push teacher looked exactly like Ed Norton, and he knew it. I guess is the other part. So, so it was like a thing he would lean into. Um,
Dead.
so
Let me
good.
look up Ed Norton really quick to make sure I have the proper visuals in my
Mm-hmm.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Ed Norton could play a St. John Rivers. A young Ed Norton could be a St. John Rivers. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. Man, I forget this guy all the time. What has he been in recently?
He was in the
I feel
Glass
like
Onion.
oh,
He,
I like watched the second one and I like didn't get it. Like I was like
oh, I really liked it.
that's I saw the part where they were like on the one where they went to like a remote island or whatever.
Yeah, that's Glass
Yeah,
Onion.
I did not know if I just didn't understand, but like I got probably 45 minutes into it and got bored and stopped.
I mean, it's one of those mysteries that requires you to watch to the end,
Okay.
because it's just like we're gonna drop little bits and pieces, and then at the end
Okay.
you can just scoop them all up and be like, ah, yes, this is good. But
I just got annoyed with the way everybody talked. Like they were like, I don't know. Like it felt like an Instagram chat room
I
of
mean,
people speaking.
that is the point. It's supposed
Okay.
to be that you are gathering the most annoying people that you can think of onto this
Okay.
island, and Ed Norton is the most annoying of all of them. It's a satire of these Instagram influencers and tech bros who
Mm,
think that they're changing the world when they're just
okay.
recycling shitty old capitalist ideas that we've seen before and didn't work, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
no, this is innovation. It's like, no, it's not.
I should probably give it another try. I was just like, I hadn't watched TV in like 7 months. So I was
Mm.
like, my friend had like, I was staying the night at her house before her bachelorette party. And I got there too early and she had a date night planned with her fiance.
Oh,
And so she's like, oh, I'm just gonna like leave you here alone. I'm like, yeah, have fun, girl. Enjoy. So I was like flipping through Netflix and I was like, I don't know what to watch at all. So I texted her, I was like, tell me a recommendation. After I had started Glass Onion, got like 30 minutes into it, I was like, I can't do it. Turned it off. I tried, I don't even know. I ended up settling on Emily in Paris because I had heard a bunch of
oh,
stuff about that. Also, not the best show out there, but
I have I heard things, and so I avoided it. But I will say, I would give Glass Onion another try.
okay. I think I only ended up watching like 2 episodes, and then I was like, all right, there's that.
That's done.
Yeah. I just needed something on because I didn't have like a plan, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
I get it. I
Because
get
I
it.
was working and I needed background noise. Like when I'm at someone else's house, like I don't really like silence. Like even
I
when I'm
get it.
home, I like to have lo-fi going. I don't want to be alone with these thoughts. Not a fan.
Listen, extremely relatable.
Yeah.
Extremely relatable. There is a reason that I listen to thousands and thousands of hours of music every year, and it's because the brain thoughts need to not always be listened to. We cannot let
Yeah.
the intrusive thoughts win, even though sometimes they do.
Yeah. Like I focus drastically better if I have like lo-fi playing.
Trying to think if I have a genre. There's a video game I like to play called Stellaris, which is just like space
Hmm.
vibing, and the soundtrack on that is just like low grade sort of electronica that just like
Hmm.
makes my brain go into a all right, we can focus now. But I
Yeah.
don't like having music with words when I'm working. Like it's got to be
Me
just that,
either.
like it's got to be just some like instrumental whatever. Otherwise,
If
my
I'm
brain's
doing
like,
like,
people are talking, we need to focus.
yeah, I do put like audiobooks on if I'm doing like data entry stuff. And then I'm like, all right, we're good.
Yep.
But other than that, zeroed in on like medieval lo-fi.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good vibe.
Yeah. It hits perfect every time. However, they did have like a spooky Halloween lo-fi
Mm,
that stayed on all the time.
okay. I believe that. I would listen to that.
Yeah. I
There's
have
a
like
go
sorry.
ahead.
I have like a Google Home in here and I just put that on.
There's a couple of YouTube channels that are also just like storm noises and piano that I listen to pretty heavily because I do love a
Yeah.
rain pattern. That also makes my brain focus well.
Well, the problem is I put rain sounds to sleep. So the second
Ah,
they come on, I get really tired.
just like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Like I just like have tricked my brain into that so much that I'm like, oh, I'm EP.
I mean, I think I've done the opposite. I've been like, I've tricked my brain into being like, rain equals work. So like when I put that on, it's just like, focus. All right.
I have a playlist that I listen to work out with. So like I've been using that on my drive to work when my energy drink doesn't kick in
Mm.
quickly enough, and that helps.
I also have a workout one that I listen to when I'm feeling low energy, so I feel you.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of low energy, let's talk about Sinjin more.
God, this man. Okay. So like I was right when I said he's the worst, right? You're just
Oh
seeing the
yeah,
sort of just like starts kind of shitty and it's just like a very
landslide.
steep cliff.
Yeah, yeah. Like I prefer Rochester to him 100 times over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, um, Sinjin's like, you should just keep teaching, and Jane's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, imagine telling a millionaire and be like, how about you like keep your first grade teaching job where you get punched and kicked all the time?
Yep.
And she's like, no.
I don't think so because actually, as it turns out, I hate this job. I have always
Hmm.
hated it. So, no.
So therefore, no. Um. So she's like, can I also have Hannah from you because I want to take her back to go make the Moore house look nice? And he's like, I guess, like, if you have to.
Getting anything from this man is like drawing blood from a stone. Like
Literally.
he is so resistant to anything that would make
Hmm.
anyone happy.
Yeah. He's like,
Like,
wait, would you bring joy? No, we
mm,
can't do that.
we can't have that.
So he's like, what are you gonna do with your life? And Jane's like, I don't know, get ready for Christmas? Weirdo?
Yes. He's always doing this like we got to talk about major life plans. We got to like
Hmm.
and listen, I'm a planner, so I get it.
Yeah.
It's just like do I plan my vacations out years in advance? Yes, I do. But this man
Hmm.
is like we have to talk about what we're going to do when we're 75 and Jane's like what? Mm?
What? Like,
What?
to
Why?
me, this is the conversation people have. Like, this is the best friend that still lives in New York, and you're talking to your girlfriend that just went back to her small hometown and suddenly interested in the Christmas tree farm man who she went to seventh grade with. You know, they're like, "What about your like financial 401k?" And she's like, "Sell it."
Right. She's just like,
We,
listen, the
I
Christmas
fell in
trees.
love. You don't understand Christmas spirit, and
I
you're
have
like,
fallen in
"Are
love
you
with
being
this man.
brainwashed?"
Yes. I have fallen in love with this man and Christmas together. So,
Mm-hmm. I saw someone doing a like little spoof of being the other person on the phone, like when they're in New
yes.
York, and being like, "Did you ask him his political alignment?" Or
Okay, so yes, this is a thing I was going to bring up, but like if Sinjin were around right now,
Mhm.
you know he would be running some fucking mega church and just like
Yeah.
extracting as much money as he could from people so that he could
Mhm.
go off. and like spread his word to people who don't
Mm-hmm.
fucking want to hear it. Like this man is awful. He's
Yeah.
so terrible. And listen, I believe that if you're listening to this podcast, you have a certain political view anyway, but you know
Mm-hmm.
this motherfucker voted for Donald Trump. You know
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have in my notes at some point on here, I said, wow, he really sounds like a BYU student.
it. Yes, that is 100% what it is. He's so hateful.
I don't okay. I know you're not on TikTok at all, but have you I wish you were, to be honest, because these references would be so much funnier. Um
I wish
but
you were
there's
on
this
this so my jokes would hit harder. But listen,
I want these jokes to land and you're not doing me any favors, okay?
no, I'm so
I'm only funny in a subset.
this is niche, okay? You need to get in the niche. Come on, let's go.
The background history that you need for this
Yes.
is there's this lady who used to make TikToks about um how she like works in a bar, okay? And she like makes like skits where she plays all the characters of like things people say in bars, like
Hmm.
forgetting to tip, blah blah blah, like a jokey post or whatever. Um, well, she doesn't have any understanding of like internet privacy
Oh,
at all.
okay,
So she treats it like she's talking to her girlfriends. So
okay.
like she's leaked her employer's addresses, all this like the
Oh
address of the
no.
bar she works at, all this kind of stuff. She like just spreads it out into the ether. So she recently like let out that she like basically married her husband in no time flat at all. Like he kept coming to her bar, and then she said that God spoke to her and said that that was going to be her husband, and he was like, "What?"
Huh?
And then she was like, "Oh, God hasn't spoken to you yet."
Okay.
Yeah. And then now she keeps like making things about how she almost got robbed because her husband like lost his key and then let a bunch of strangers into their house in the middle of the night, and how he's like a horrible alcoholic and all this kind of stuff.
You met him because he kept coming to your bar.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, it's just men. You know how men are."
Oh, I laugh at that because I'm there's a deep cringe in my soul right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Next time one of her TikToks come up, I'll send it to you. But it's like all I'm thinking is about her when he's like, "Oh, God hasn't spoken to you yet."
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like there was.
Sinjin is very much the there is God has a plan and we've talked about it and
Hmm.
he if you do not follow that plan, it's like my guy, this is your plan. This is your plan. And you're just
Yeah.
saying that. So stop it.
Hmm. Hmm. Listen, if someone's brought up God this many times when I spoke to them, I'd be already running the other direction.
Right. I'd be like, I know there's a snowstorm, but you should.
Gotta go. Bye.
Bye.
So she's like, she gets back to the Moore house with Hannah in tow. And she starts like updating small things. She's like, I want them to like feel like it's home, but like these drapes are falling apart. Let me just replace them with things that look very similar. She like adds some organizers, like tries to a very like she's very hard, very much trying to like make sure that they don't feel like overwhelmed with the
Hmm.
amount of changes she's making, just things to make their lives easier, which I appreciate.
No, she's very conscientious, which
Hmm.
I appreciate that. It's like, I'm new here. I know that we're
Hmm.
buds, but also like I'm not she's not trying to step on toes. She's just like,
Yeah.
this is the stuff I can do to make things better, but also keep them comforting. Which is
Hmm.
that's a good vibe.
Good vibe. So Sinjin shows up first,
Ugh.
and he's like, "Oh, are you happy with all your maid work?" And Jane's like, "Bruh,
He never has a kind word to say.
mm-mm,
Ever.
mm-mm."
Ever.
And she's like, "Oh, you want to see all the updates I made?" And he just looks around and goes, "Well, you changed some things." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Uh-huh. No, this is like you come home from the salon. You're like, "Do you notice anything?" And Sinjin's just
Mm-hmm.
like, "I don't know, your hair looks weird." It's
Yeah,
like,
and you're
"God
like,
damn it,
"Oh,
man. Thank
thanks.
you."
Love that." In this moment, Jane realizes that he would be a terrible husband for Rose, which is just ironic, seeing as how we're gonna move forward here.
You're right, because some other shit's about to happen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, the sisters finally arrive and break the monotony that's happening. And they're like obsessed with all the renovations. They're like, "Oh, this is so nice. Look at those drapes. Look at the carpets. Oh my gosh!" Like,
No, they're
love the
actually decent
sisters.
human beings. They have
Yeah,
human
literally.
emotions.
Literally.
They understand effort and labor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Sinjin does not.
Correct. So he's getting called away during the holidays, and he could not be happier.
Hmm. It's like,
What is up with my voice right now? It sounds like so growly. I feel like.
I'm not getting that, but I understand.
Okay,
I
good.
was doing that
I
earlier.
Yeah, I can tell that it's like a little weird. I don't know.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, fix it in post. Just rip out my voice box.
Yep.
Yep.
Get a replace. It'll be fine.
So Sinjin gets called away. Could not be happier to dip out. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go. Bye, poor orphans. Bye."
Right. It's very much that, like, oh, my phone is ringing. I don't hear your phone ringing. Oh, it's on silent, but it's definitely ringing. Hello. Oh, no, a crisis. Shoot. I gotta go. Bye.
It's like when have you ever seen like girls have like an emergency text number? Like, so if their date's going really bad, their friend will call them and being like, "Your mom's dying at the hospital. We've gotta go. We gotta go now. Like, I'm just having like
uh,
the worst time. I need you here." And then they can be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My friend
that's,
needs me. I've gotta go."
I gotta bounce. No, that's 100% what's going on, but it's like, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Mm-hmm.
sisters and your cousin just want to spend some fucking time with you, and you
Literally.
cannot. And they are lovely people, and you are not. And they still want to
Mm-hmm.
spend time with you. Everyone wants to spend time with this man, and I don't understand it. Is it
Literally.
just because he's hot?
I, I I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, because he's real fucking preachy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's not nice, and he's boring.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
Anyway,
no level of hotness would distract me from how much of a menace this man is.
absolutely, that is it. Like, yeah, he's beautiful, but also he opens his mouth, and you're just like, there's a red flag. And then he
Yeah.
opens his mouth again. You're like, another red flag. They're everywhere. Everything with this man is
Yeah.
red flag.
No level of like soundproof headphones is gonna get me through this.
Nope. 100%.
So, Jane will not stop talking about how unpleasant he is to be around, and I love that. Um, but then also he's not around at all. So like he's barely there. But the time she's there, Jane's like, "Oh my god, can this dude leave?"
I mean, I certainly have those people that
Mm-hmm.
when they are around, it's intolerable. And even
Mm-hmm.
if it's for just a small amount, it's just like it takes every ounce of my energy to not scream. You know?
Yeah.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
like if I have a full drawer of spoons, the second that person walks in the room, it's just like throw them on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
All of
They
it's
basically
gone.
pulled the drawer out and emptied it,
Yep.
just upturned it.
So this is super super relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Apparently, also Rose is set to be married to a Mr. Granby.
And you know what? We
So,
love that for Rose because it's
mm-hmm.
not Sinjin. I don't care
Yeah,
who this man is. He is better than Sinjin.
yeah, she deserves better for sure.
Absolutely. She's just a nice person.
I know. Like, whenever nice people marry the worst human alive, I'm like, how did this happen? How'd you get here?
It's
What
because nice
occurred?
it's because nice people don't put themselves and their needs first.
Literally. They
They
feel like they
don't.
have to take one for the team. And I'm like,
Right. It's like,
no,
no, you don't.
there's no team here.
Nope. That person, not on a team. They don't
Yeah.
believe they're on a team.
Yeah, just like maybe run away fast, far.
Right. Distance. Get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they're all just kind of still chilling. Jane took up learning German, which is cute.
Love that for her.
She's still making weekly trips to the school to like help around, which is nice.
Yep.
Something she does not have to do, but whatever she wants, I guess. You're rich.
Absolutely. She's rich. She can do whatever she wants at this point.
So Sinjin looks at Jane's like, you should quit German and learn Hindustani, which I don't actually
Hindustani.
know. That's right. Oh, okay.
Hindustani. Yeah, he's saying you should learn Hindi.
Okay. I was like, hmm.
I wonder
Jane does
why.
not see this for the red flag it is.
No, no. She's like, that's interesting. Why?
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's for me to practice better on. And Jane's like, huh. And he tells her that he'll be leaving in 3 months. And I'm like, could it be soon enough?
Right. Could you make it a month, my guy? Could you make it a
Yeah.
week?
Leave now.
Get
Thank you.
out. Leave. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
So then, the day goes on. Diana forces Sinjin to kiss Jane just as he kisses his sisters. And Jane's like, that is the coldest, like, nothing there kiss I've ever had in my entire life.
No, I appreciate that with Sinjin, it's just he gets colder through this whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
her descriptions of him start with him being like kind of snowy and marble
Mm-hmm.
like, and it's just like he turns to ice through this
Mm-hmm.
entire book. It's really I find it very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of a descriptive progression, but like there is no feeling in this man. Like even the
Mm-hmm.
feeling that he has for Rosamund is like wrapped up in this weird like I'm sorry, I'm pausing here so I can
You're fine.
finish this thought. His feelings for Rosamund are wrapped up in this weird like I can't have feelings just because she's hot. There's always
Mm-hmm.
like he is always repressing. He is always clamping down and making sure that no emotion happens whatsoever. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
literally just like freezes over the course of this book. It's wild.
I know, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
We find out she's still thinking of Rochester.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep.
She wrote to Mrs. Fairfax and was ignored for 2 months. And
So
she's like, that's kind of wild.
Mrs. Fairfax probably has some shit on her plate right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 6 months has passed, still no words. She's like, okay, I guess they don't want to talk to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yep.
St. John still hasn't left yet. Months are passing.
Still just fucking lingering. Just like the longest Midwestern goodbye on the face of the planet. So she's
Literally.
like, oh, yeah, guess I better be leaving. And Jane's like, okay, bye. He's like, actually, how do
Yeah.
you feel about the Twins this year? They're doing pretty good, playing some good
Mm-hmm.
baseball. And Jane's like, I don't like baseball. Please leave. And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, but what do you feel about India? Jane's like, what do you
Mm-hmm.
want from me? Please.
Like, in the Midwestern goodbyes, when like you're sitting down, then you both stand. You're still at the
Yeah.
couch.
Still, yep.
And like you're just like sitting there. You talk for another 30 minutes. You're at the couch. You're like, well, I should be going then.
Yep.
You get like 2 more steps. You're like, oh wait, did Joan talk to you?
Yeah.
We were thinking about doing the bake sale, and you're like, oh, the bake sale.
Yep. Now he's going to spend 20 minutes on the bake sale, and then we got to talk about our coats.
And
I
then you
should
get
probably
like
get our
2
coats.
steps closer. You
Yeah.
get to the coat closet. And you're like,
Yep.
wow, this crown molding.
It's amazing. Oh, yeah.
I love what you've done with those. Yeah, actually, I got that on Facebook Marketplace. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
No, no. Wow, I love it. My wife Janice, she's always on that Facebook Marketplace.
Let me tell you about that Facebook Marketplace. Do you know? 30 minutes later.
I had to buy a whole truck just because Janice wanted this forklift she saw on Facebook Marketplace. Now we got a forklift in the backyard. I don't even have my forklift certification, but Janice already signed me up for the classes, so you
Someone
know
needs to shut down Janice's access to the internet. Let's be real. It needs to stop.
listen, happy wife, happy life. Janice got her forklift.
Mhm. Yes.
I couldn't think of the word for TV console, so all I thought it was forklift.
Okay. You know what? It makes it better. It makes it so much better. A thing to put a TV on. A
She
forklift.
decor
Decorative forklift.
she decorates it for the holidays like they do with those 12-foot skeletons in the
Yes.
backyard. So she's
Yes.
got the forklift. Her two of the 12-foot skeletons. Everybody's wearing Santa hats.
I love this. I do want to live next to Janice. I just don't want to talk to Janice.
I would love to live next to Janice just because I know that I'd be like, "Hey Janice, I really want to get some bookshelves." And she'd be like, "I've already ordered them and secured them
Right.
for you."
I've got them.
Yeah. They're hard maple. And you're going to be like, "Really? You found maple?"
They're artisanally crafted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting it for $47.
Right. The man who made these grew the trees himself.
Mhm.
Okay. It's
Mhm.
sustainable. They're
Mhm.
artistic. And yes, the price is right.
I did send Jerry already there with his Ford F-350.
Right.
He is
Jerry's
picking
there.
them up.
He's picking them up right now.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I did actually forecast that you would be texting this to me. So I did plan for this yesterday.
Yes.
And they will be delivered to your house in 15 minutes. So just maybe clear the spot that you want them.
Yep.
Do you need me to come over? I do have a forklift. I can help clear
Right.
this
I
up.
got the forklift is ready and at your disposal.
I can send little Timmy over there. He's gotten really good at packing boxes if you need me to send him on over to box up some of your books while you know.
Incredible.
I also just want you to imagine Janice being making the best holiday cookies.
I
This
do.
is how
I
I'm
mean,
envisioning her.
yes. Janice is the perfect Hallmark mother
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
grandmother
With a forklift in the
with a
backyard.
forklift. You know what? I'm writing this movie and I'm pitching it. Forklift Christmas. It's gonna happen.
The grandkids just love the forklift. I
I
don't know.
just love the forklift. It's gonna be heartwarming.
I'm imagining them as being like, the government can't tell us to get forklift certification. All of my grandkids are forklift certified by
All
their
my
granny.
all my grandkids are forklift certified is the tagline of this fucking movie.
Grandma got ran over by a forklift.
Yo. But yes. Absolutely yes.
Oh my gosh. I feel like these early morning episodes that we do just have a very specific energy.
Well, listen, I'm underslept and underfed, so my brain is going in weird places. Don't mind me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, let me just wipe my tears a little bit
Yep.
from laughing. Okay. Um. Anyways, our unforklift certified Jane Eyre. Uh. Any- okay. Okay. That should be my little tagline for this episode. Jane
Yes.
Eyre, not forklift certified.
Not forklift certified. Uh-huh.
She cannot seem to resist St. John at all and any of his wants. And I'm like, that doesn't make for a healthy situation.
Nope.
It could be her daddy issues. I don't know.
I mean, I think I certainly think there's an aspect of like she's got family now that she cares about, and she's really trying. Like
Yeah.
she really wants to make that connection, and it's just she's trying to connect with a piece of shit. Is at the end of the day what's going on.
He's also starting to get urgent with her studies, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh,
oh no.
I feel like we're building to something very bad.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Jane is also bawling her eyes out, and he's like, we'll just wait until you can control yourself.
Mhm.
And I'm like, bro, stop,
Vomit.
stop. She's like, okay, finally stops crying. And he's like, let's go on a walk. And she's like, okay, can we bring your
Mm,
sisters? And he's like, no. And I'm like, don't go.
no, he's trying to get you to a secondary location, Jane. Do not
Mm-hmm,
do it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. On this walk, he's like, okay, I'm going to finally leave. And I'm like,
Thank you.
bless.
Yes.
He's like, I want you to go with me, Jane,
Yeah.
as a fellow missionary. And she's like, um. And he's like, but as my wife also. And Jane's like, what?
Ooh, there it is. There's the other shoe.
He's like, not out of love, though, but obligation as God's
Right.
children.
There will be no, you know, there will be nothing in this marriage except for, yeah, mutual obligation to God.
Yeah, he said, no hanky panky.
None. The amount of hanky panky will be less than none.
Mm-hmm.
We will
We
have to
won't
make
even look
up,
at each other.
right. We have to make up for all of the other hanky panky by not
Mm-hmm.
doing any of it and actively discouraging it.
As God's children, we will practice abstinence until death. So,
Correct. Abstinence also including to the fact of, yeah, we will not recognize each other.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Jane's like, there's not a single part of me that wants this at all.
None of it. Hate it. All of it.
And Jane's like, give me 30 minutes to think about it. And he's like, I'm just going to walk over there then. And Jane's like, cool.
This is such a him thing to do. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, you need time? I will be right here.
Yeah. He like
Staring at
lays
you.
down in a meadow too,
Yeah.
like very close to her.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to influence you at all. Proceeds to stare for half an hour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's like fully like curled up on his side, watching her as she's thinking. So she's like, if I go to India with this man, I will have a premature death.
Right. She's literally like, this will kill me.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good for her for seeing that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. She basically comes to the decision that she could go with his sister and it wouldn't be as horrible.
I mean, it would still be pretty bad because you like
Yeah.
literally you'd be there with this man, and
Yeah.
that's your connection. Ugh.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, what if I go as your sister? Because he's like, God told me to tell you this, that you're
Mm.
going.
Mm-hmm. Just like the TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Jane's like, I could go as your sister, and I think I could survive that. And he's like, no, I need a wife, so sister's not gonna work out.
Sister's not
And
cutting it.
yeah, Jane's like, no. No, I don't know. And then this is the moment where I said very BYU student of him to say that this is God's timing.
Yup.
And he's like, I can't have a sister who would leave at any moment because I want a wife who's going to be with me forever. And then Jane's like, I want someone to actually be in love with me. And he goes, just like give your heart to God. Why do I have to love you?
God, he's so obnoxious. He's so
He's the
obnoxious.
worst. He's the worst. He's not letting the marriage part go. He's like,
Mhm.
okay, listen, I'm going to be gone a fortnight. You can think about it then. And Jane's like, okay, I guess, but my opinion's not going to change.
Right. She's like, I'll think on it. All right, I've thought on it. Still a no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's like, when they get home, he starts just being like horribly cold to her. And she's like, cool, great, glad this is happening. And that's all we got for today's episode.
I have things I want to say, but I also don't want to turn this into like a 3-hour episode. So I'm just gonna say, God, there are so many terrible men in this book, but this man
Yeah.
is the worst of
The
all
absolute
of them.
worst. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
that's
am excited for next week's episode.
there's some wild
And
shit. There's some wild shit.
yeah.
These last chapters are just like a weird whirlwind. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll see you in the next episode. Alex,
Yeah.
do you want to shout out your stuff? I mean, I know people probably heard it for the 17th time.
Yeah, you all know where
However,
I am. You know where I am if you've been listening to this. Check me out. There's stuff
and if you
happening.
didn't start at the beginning,
Right.
start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning, and then you'll know where I am
Mm-hmm.
and who I am and what's going on.
And your links are still always in the description.
My
so.
links are there, so it's all good.
And we will catch you in the next episode with more drama,
Such drama. So juicy.
more Moors, and more Jane Eyre.
My favorite things.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.